On June 13, 2025, what began as a routine Air India flight from Ahmedabad to London ended in unimaginable disaster. Passengers boarded with dreams, plans, and the expectation of a safe journey, unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed just moments after takeoff, shattering the calm of the morning and turning a day of promise into one of national mourning. The suddenness of the catastrophe left little time for hope or escape. 241 passengers and crew lost their lives in an instant, their fates sealed in a matter of seconds. The crash site, near a medical college hostel, was a scene of utter devastation. Twisted metal, scorched earth, and the echo of sirens filling the air. Miraculously, the hostel building was mostly empty at the time, sparing further tragedy on the ground and preventing an even greater loss of life. Emergency crews rushed in, their efforts heroic but ultimately overwhelmed by the scale of destruction. Rescue soon gave way to recovery as the grim reality set in. The images from that day, fire, twisted metal, and grief, are seared into memory, haunting all who witnessed the aftermath. This was more than a news story. It was a wound for India and the global aviation community, a tragedy that resonated far beyond the crash site. The loss raised urgent questions about safety, technology, and trust in air travel. How could such a modern aircraft fail so catastrophically? For families, the pain is immeasurable. Their worlds changed forever in a single devastating moment. As the nation mourns, the search for answers begins, with investigators and officials determined to uncover the truth. What went wrong on Flight 171? Was it a technical failure, human error, or something else entirely? Why did so many lives end so suddenly, leaving families and a nation searching for meaning in the midst of heartbreak? Investigators, the airline, and the public demand answers, determined to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. The journey to uncover the truth will be long and painstaking, but it is essential to honor those lost and to restore faith in aviation. Each person on board had a story, a future, now remembered in heartbreak and in the memories of those left behind. The tragedy is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the immense responsibilities that come with flight. The world watched in horror, united in sorrow, as tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. The crash's impact will echo for years, shaping conversations about air safety, regulation, and the future of travel. For now, India grieves, and the world stands in solidarity, offering support and remembrance. The memory of Flight 171 will not fade. It demands understanding, accountability, and lasting change. The quest for answers is just beginning, and the world is watching, hoping for truth and healing. Air India Flight 171's journey lasted less than a minute. The plane took off at 1:39 p.m. with clear skies and no sign of trouble. 30 seconds after takeoff, at just 625 feet, the aircraft stalled. The pilots had no time or altitude to recover. The heavy fuel-laden Dreamliner plunged into a nearby medical college hostel, erupting in flames. Witnesses saw the plane struggle, then fall, a horrifying sight. First responders arrived quickly, but the fire was overwhelming. The crash was not survivable for almost everyone on board. The flight, meant to connect continents, ended in tragedy before it truly began. The passenger list reflected the global ties between India and the UK. 241 lives from many nations were lost together in a moment. The city of Ahmedabad was left in shock, the world in mourning. The tragedy's brevity made it all the more devastating. Amid the devastation, as emergency crews rushed to the scene, the scale of the tragedy became heartbreakingly clear. Yet, in the midst of chaos and despair, one extraordinary story of survival emerged, capturing the attention of the world. A British Indian man who had been seated near an emergency exit was miraculously pulled alive from the twisted wreckage by first responders. His survival is a rare glimmer of hope in a sea of loss, a moment of light in overwhelming darkness. Rescue workers found him conscious but critically injured. He is now in intensive care, fighting for his life with the support of dedicated medical teams. His family's relief is immense, though it is tempered by the sorrow and grief that surrounds them in the hospital corridors. Investigators believe his seat location, combined with the way the fuselage broke apart, may have shielded him from the worst of the impact. His account could offer vital clues about the final moments inside the cabin, helping experts piece together the sequence of events. The lone survivor's journey to recovery will be long and difficult, marked by both physical and emotional challenges. His story personalizes the tragedy, reminding us of the human lives and families behind the numbers and headlines. While the world mourns, his survival stands as a testament to chance, resilience, and the will to live against all odds. He will carry the memory of this day forever, a reminder of both loss and the miracle of survival. His experience may help investigators understand what happened and perhaps prevent future tragedies. In a tragedy defined by loss, his survival is a single note of hope, a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. The investigation began as soon as the smoke cleared. Both flight recorders, the black boxes, were recovered quickly. These devices hold crucial data flight performance and cockpit conversations. Experts are analyzing them to reconstruct the flight's final seconds. Early clues emerged from witness videos. The landing gear was still down during the climb. Normally, pilots retract the gear soon after takeoff to reduce drag. Leaving it down can hinder speed and altitude gain. Investigators are also examining the wing flaps, which provide lift at low speeds. Incorrect flap settings or premature retraction could have contributed to the stall. Other possibilities, engine failure, bird strike, hydraulic issues, are being explored. The process is methodical, focused on finding the truth, not blame. Understanding what happened is vital to prevent future tragedies. The world waits for answers, hoping for lessons that will make flying safer. The investigation's outcome will shape aviation safety for years to come. The crash is a devastating blow to Air India, an airline that has been striving for renewal and a return to its former glory. For many, this tragedy is a painful reminder of the challenges the airline has faced over the years. Once government-owned and plagued by mounting losses, Air India's future looked bleak, with aging fleets and declining service standards casting a long shadow over its reputation. In 2022, the Tata Group reacquired the airline, promising a bold transformation and a new era of professionalism and innovation. Optimism grew as new investments, upgraded services, and a massive aircraft order signaled a fresh start. Passengers and industry experts alike began to believe in Air India's comeback story. The Dreamliner crash now casts a shadow over these efforts, threatening to undo recent progress and reigniting old doubts. The tragedy raises urgent questions about safety and operational culture even under new management, and puts the airline's renewed ambitions to the test. Air India must now support victims' families with compassion and cooperate fully with investigators to uncover the truth. The company's revitalization is now at risk, and public trust, so carefully rebuilt, is shaken once again. The path forward is uncertain, with the airline's reputation and future hanging in the balance as it faces intense scrutiny. The Tata Group's commitment and leadership will be tested as they navigate this crisis and work to restore confidence. The airline's transformation must now include a renewed and unwavering focus on safety, transparency, and accountability. The world is watching closely to see how Air India responds to this defining challenge. The tragedy has become a defining moment for the airline's future, and what happens next will shape its legacy for years to come. Air India's aging fleet has long been a challenge. Older planes require more maintenance and are less efficient, straining finances. The crashed Dreamliner was only 11 years old, modern by industry standards. Still, the incident has renewed scrutiny of the airline's overall fleet age. Many Air India planes are over 15 years old, prompting a massive order for new aircraft. The plan: replace aging jets with state-of-the-art models over several years. The crash complicates this narrative as it involved a relatively new plane. Investigators will review maintenance records for any missed issues. The tragedy underscores that safety depends on more than just aircraft age. Training, procedures, and a strong safety culture are essential. Modernization remains a priority, but vigilance is critical. The incident is a stark reminder. Safety is a constant, organization-wide commitment. The future of Air India's fleet and its reputation depends on it. The crash sent shockwaves across India and the world. Leaders, including Prime Minister Modi, expressed deep sorrow and pledged support for victims' families. Vigils and prayers united the nation in mourning. International support arrived swiftly, with the US and UK offering investigative expertise. The tragedy's global impact was felt through the diverse passenger list. Embassies worked to support grieving families from multiple countries. The aviation community worldwide was reminded of its shared responsibility. Airlines and regulators everywhere are watching closely. Support groups are being set up to help families cope. The world's attention is on Ahmedabad, united in compassion and sorrow. In tragedy, humanity comes together, seeking answers and healing. The crash has put Boeing's Dreamliner under intense scrutiny. This is the first fatal crash involving the 787 since its debut. Boeing, already under pressure from past safety issues, faces renewed questions. The company's stock fell, reflecting investor concern. Boeing has pledged full cooperation with investigators in India. If a design flaw is found, the consequences could be severe for Boeing. If not, focus may shift to airline operations or pilot error. The Dreamliner remains a workhorse for global travel, but trust is fragile. The investigation's findings will have industry-wide implications. Boeing's transparency and response are critical for its reputation. The world is watching, demanding answers and accountability. As shock fades, Air India faces urgent questions about its future. The crash is both a human tragedy and a corporate crisis. Supporting victims' families is the immediate priority. The investigation will shape the airline's next steps, whether technical failure or human error is to blame. Air India must prove it can prevent such a tragedy from happening again. Rebuilding public trust will be a long journey. The airline's ambitious modernization plans may be delayed or re-evaluated. Financial strain will test the Tata Group's resolve. The company's vision for a new Air India faces its greatest challenge. The memory of the 241 lost will drive efforts to improve safety. The world waits to see if Air India can recover and regain trust. The answers will shape the future of one of aviation's most historic names. For now, a nation mourns, and the world hopes for lessons that will make the skies safer.